The moment you sign the paperwork on a brand new recreational vehicle, you lose between 30 and 40% of your money. Not over 5 years, not gradually, instantly. You walk out of the dealership with a machine worth $40,000 less than what you paid for it. The industry calls this normal depreciation. I am going to show you why it is a wealth extraction system designed to keep you locked in a cycle of debt forever. This is not an accident. This is not market forces. This is engineered financial destruction, and you need to understand how they are stealing your retirement savings before you ever leave the lot. You assume depreciation happens because recreational vehicles are poorly built and they break down quickly. That is part of it, but that is not the primary cause of the cliff you experience in year one. The real cause of catastrophic first-year depreciation is a 3-layer markup system that inflates the sale price far beyond the value of the machine. When you buy new, you are not paying for the materials and labor. You are paying for a dealer network, a corporate profit margin, and a financing scheme that extracts maximum cash from your bank account. Let me break down the layers so you understand where your money is going. Layer 1 is the manufacturer's profit margin. When a factory builds a travel trailer, the material and labor cost is shockingly low. Industry insiders estimate that a trailer with an MSRP of $80,000 costs the manufacturer between $25,000 and $35,000 to produce. That is not an exaggeration. Because of the piece rate pay system we have exposed in previous investigations, the labor is cheap and fast. Because of bulk material contracts and the use of the cheapest possible components, the material cost is a fraction of what you would expect. The manufacturer sells that unit to the dealer for approximately $50,000. They pocketed a 40 to 50% margin on a product that took less than 3 days to assemble. Layer 2 is the dealer markup. The dealer does not sell you the unit for $50,000. They mark it up to $70,000 or $80,000 or higher, depending on how desperate you seem and how good their salespeople are at closing. The dealer is not adding value. They are adding square footage, sales commissions, and the cost of keeping unsold inventory sitting on a lot for months. You are paying for their overhead. You are subsidizing their entire business model. And because most buyers finance the purchase, they do not feel the full weight of this markup. They see a monthly payment that seems manageable, and they sign. Layer 3 is the financing trap. If you finance through the dealership, you are often paying an interest rate that is 2 to 4 percentage points higher than what you could get from a credit union. The dealer gets a kickback from the lender for steering you into a high-interest loan. Over the life of a 15 or 20-year note, that interest can add another $20,000 to $40,000 to the total cost of the vehicle. You are not buying a $80,000 trailer. You are buying a $30,000 trailer for $120,000 when you add up the markup and the interest. This is why the depreciation curve is so violent. The moment the sale is complete, all 3 layers of markup evaporate. The unit is now used. It has no dealer markup. It has no financing incentive attached to it, and the market instantly revalues it based on what it cost to build, not what you were convinced to pay for it. Here is what happens in the 30 days after you drive off the lot. You take your new trailer on its first trip. You discover the refrigerator does not work. You discover a leak around the skylight. You discover the slide-out mechanism is binding. These are not random defects. These are the inevitable result of the manufacturing process we have documented. You take the unit back to the dealer for warranty work, and it sits in their service bay for 6 weeks. During those 6 weeks, you are still making payments. You are still paying insurance, but you cannot use the vehicle. When you finally get it back, the problems are half fixed and new problems have appeared. At this point, you are frustrated. You start thinking about trading it in, and that is what the industry wants. The dealer will happily take your trade-in. They will offer you 50 to 60% of what you paid 12 months ago. You are shocked by the number, but the salesperson will explain that depreciation is normal and that everyone loses money in the first year. What they do not tell you is that the dealer will turn around and sell your used unit for 70 to 75% of the original price. They are making money on both ends of the transaction. They made money when they sold it to you new. They are making money when they sell it to the next buyer used. And they are making money again when they sell you a newer model to replace the one you traded in. This is a closed-loop wealth extraction system, and you are the only one losing. But the depreciation disaster is not about dealer markups. It is about the collapse of build quality caused by the corporate consolidation of the industry. In the year 2000, there were over 50 independent recreational vehicle manufacturers in the United States. Each one competed on quality, features, and reputation. By 2020, two corporations controlled 80% of the market. Thor Industries and Forest River systematically bought up every competitor and replaced craftsmanship with volume production. When competition dies, quality dies with it. The units being built today are objectively worse than the units built 20 years ago, but they cost 3 times as much. This creates a depreciation amplifier because buyers in the used market are not stupid. They know the new units are garbage, so they discount the value accordingly. Let me give you a specific example of how corporate consolidation creates depreciation. In 2015, a family-owned manufacturer would use real wood cabinetry, aluminum framing, and commercial-grade appliances because their reputation depended on it. If a unit failed, the owner would personally authorize a repair to protect the brand. In 2025, that same brand is now owned by a publicly traded conglomerate. The wood cabinets have been replaced with particle board wrapped in vinyl. The aluminum framing has been replaced with cheaper steel that rusts. The commercial appliances have been replaced with residential models that are not designed for the vibration and movement of the road. The price has gone up, but the quality has gone down. When you try to sell that unit used, the market sees through the branding. They see the cheap materials, and they price it accordingly. This brings us to the wholesale auction reports that dealerships do not want you to see. Every month, thousands of traded-in recreational vehicles go to auction where dealers buy inventory to resell. The auction data reveals the true market value of these units, and it is devastating. A 3-year-old travel trailer with an original MSRP of $60,000 sells at auction for $18,000 to $22,000. A 5-year-old fifth wheel with an original price of $90,000 sells for $28,000 to $35,000. These are not damaged units. These are average condition trades with normal wear. The dealers know these numbers. They use these numbers to determine what they will pay you for your trade, but they will never show you the auction sheets, because if you saw what they paid for the used inventory on their lot, you would realize how much profit margin they are extracting from every transaction. The financial mechanics of the sucker tax come into focus when you compare the new buyer experience to the used buyer experience. The new buyer pays $80,000 for a trailer. They finance it for 15 years at 7% interest. Their total cost is $120,000. After 3 years, they still owe $68,000, but the trailer is worth $30,000 at auction. They are $38,000 underwater. If they try to sell it privately, they might get $40,000, but they still cannot pay off the loan. They are trapped. The used buyer pays $40,000 cash for a 3-year-old unit. They own it outright. If they sell it 2 years later for $35,000, they lost $5,000. The new buyer lost $50,000 in the same time period. The delta between these two outcomes is the sucker tax. It is the cost of believing the industry's lies about new being better. The dealer incentive structure makes this worse. Dealers make the majority of their profit on new sales, not used sales. A new unit sale generates revenue from the markup, the financing kickback, the extended warranty sale, and the trade-in acquisition. A used sale only generates revenue from the markup. This means the dealer is highly motivated to convince you that buying new is the smart move, even though the numbers prove it is financial suicide. They will tell you the warranty protects you. They will tell you used units are risky. They will tell you the new floor plan has features you cannot live without. All of this is designed to get you to ignore the depreciation curve and sign the paperwork on a loan that will keep you in debt for the next 15 years. The warranty is not protection. It is a marketing tool. The average bumper-to-bumper warranty on a new recreational vehicle lasts 1 year. Some manufacturers offer 2 or 3 years, but the coverage is filled with exclusions and loopholes. Wear items are not covered. Damage caused by road vibration is not covered. Water intrusion is not covered unless you can prove it was a manufacturing defect and not user error. When you file a claim, the dealer has to get approval from the manufacturer. The manufacturer will delay, deny, or approve the claim, but say the part is on back order for 6 months. By the time the warranty expires, you will have spent more time dealing with repairs than you spent camping. And the moment that warranty expires, the resale value drops another 10% because the next buyer knows they are inheriting all the problems without any coverage. This is planned obsolescence. They engineer the product to last long enough to get you past the warranty period and then fall apart. So if the new market is a trap and the depreciation is engineered, what is the smart financial move? You stop buying new and you start buying the depreciation cliff. The best value in the entire recreational vehicle market is the 3 to 5 year old unit that has already absorbed the sucker tax. Someone else paid $80,000. Someone else lost $40,000. You buy it for $35,000 and you drive it for 5 years. When you sell it for $25,000, you lost $10,000. That is real depreciation based on wear and age. The new buyer lost $55,000 in the same time period. You saved $45,000 by letting someone else be the sucker, but you cannot buy any 3-year-old unit. You have to buy smart. Avoid the brands we have blacklisted in previous investigations. Target the pre-acquisition era models built before the corporate buyouts. Look for units with service records that show the previous owner maintained it. Inspect for water damage with a moisture meter. Check the frame for cracks and the underbelly for tape repairs. If the unit passes inspection, you are buying a depreciating asset, but you are buying it at honest market value instead of inflated retail fantasy pricing. The industry hates this strategy because it takes money out of their system. They cannot make a profit on a private party sale. They cannot finance you into a high-interest loan. They cannot sell you an overpriced extended warranty. You are opting out of their wealth extraction machine, and that is what you should do. The final piece of the sucker tax is the psychological trap. The industry has conditioned buyers to believe that new equals better and used equals risk. This is corporate propaganda. A well-maintained 5-year-old unit from a quality manufacturer is objectively better than a brand new unit from a volume production line. The 5-year-old unit was built when the company still cared about reputation. It has real wood, real aluminum, and real craftsmanship. The brand new unit was assembled in 90 minutes by workers paid by the piece. It has particle board, stapled walls, and a frame held together with hope. But the dealer will never tell you this because they make $15,000 on the new sale and $3,000 on the used sale. They are incentivized to lie to you. And most buyers are too excited about the shiny new floor plan to ask the hard questions. Stop rewarding the industry for selling you depreciation. Stop signing 15-year loans on assets that lose half their value before you make the first payment. Buy the 3-year-old unit, pay cash, drive it until the wheels fall off. And when you are done, sell it for 70% of what you paid instead of 40%. The sucker tax is optional. You have to be smart enough to opt out.